So what's up, everybody? This is going to be my Black Clover 355 predictions. I think this chapter is going to be a straight up onslaught. We're going to see the captains, we're going to see the townspeople completely be slaughtered and turn into paladins. I think this is unavoidable. We're going to see the Clover Kingdom turn into basically the subjects of Lucius. This is what Lucius wanted. He's going to start off with the Clover Kingdom and then he's going to work his way throughout the whole entire world. That's what I think is going to happen in this chapter. We're going to see basically the characters we knew face doom. So let's get into my Black Clover 355 predictions. First of all, if you like anime, manga reviews, discussion, spoilers, and theories, definitely hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, so HM moves to false copyright strikes. So let's get this channel back to 5,000. I appreciate all the support that you guys have given me. So Black Clover 354, I was looking at a couple of panels of the last pages. You guys have been telling me that the one when you see a bunch of what it looks like doves or birds above the Clover Kingdom, I thought it was like doves, but you guys pointed it out that it's actually paladins. So Lucius has an army of paladins right now at the Clover Kingdom. We're not entirely sure who exactly all are the paladins. We know that there's a few of them that are the main. We have Aesir, we have Morgan, we also have Morris. They seem to be the three main paladins that are probably going to be the closest to Lucius. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot of other people that died in the series come back in terms of like the elves. We might even see Lit. So there's a lot of possibilities. I did say that an old Wizard King is going to be reborn, especially the first Wizard King, the Lumiere. I'm guessing that's what's going to happen just because of the fact that we didn't see Lumiere interact with Julius, and it will be a good comparison to see Lumiere at his full potential versus him at partial of his magic, because when he got basically reanimated as a stone, he wasn't really at his full powers, like portion of his power, if I'm not mistaken. It was like 10% or something like that. I know it was mentioned in the elf art that it wasn't his full power that was reanimated in the statue. So seeing the Wizard King being reborn into a paladin, I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case, and it would be good if the first Wizard King came back and then changed the structure of what it means to be in the Clover Kingdom, because I know he has a lot of pull. I know he comes from the royal family, so I wouldn't be surprised if he comes back into the story, like even after being defeated as a paladin, he actually stays alive. Like what I think a lot of these people that got reborn as paladins is going to happen, I think they're going to end up living normal lives after this battle. I can see Lumiere being reborn and him counseling Asta to make a better Clover Kingdom. Also make the title of Wizard King not be infiltrated again by somebody like Julius. So in this chapter, I would not be surprised if we see an old Wizard King, especially Lumiere, one of the elves, probably a legendary figure of the elves that we haven't been introduced yet, Lola Pacheco's ancestor that actually faced against the Tree of Qliphoth, because we know that in her family records in the Heart Kingdom, through the knowledge of the past generations of her lineage, she was able to figure out that what the Tree of Qliphoth is, what is it about, what happens if it opens up, basically doom for the whole world. With that being said, I wouldn't be surprised if we see that ancestor of Lola Pacheco that was during the time when the Tree of Qliphoth open, because Lucius does have probably knowledge of that person from the devils that most likely faced her. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see somebody like that coming back into the story. We can also possibly see the Diamond King. I think the Diamond King was mentioned a couple of times that he was sick, so I wouldn't be surprised if the Diamond King throughout this year and a half probably died and he could be reborn as a paladin. We probably will see him in this chapter, because I remember he was super sick. That's why Morris took advantage of him. From what we last know, Mars was actually canceling the Diamond King, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see him in this chapter. When you see that paladin wing and that kid thought it was an angel, it's kind of a given that Lucius and the paladins are literally about to onslaught the whole entire Clover Kingdom and turn him into paladins. Of course, I could see a few of them actually surviving. I don't think all of them are going to die. I think maybe Fogolion probably survives or escapes, maybe one of Noel's family members. Also, we haven't seen Noel, Mimosa, and Nero, so what is that all about? Are we going to see them eventually? There has to be a reason why they weren't basically in the front lines of Black Clover 354, which leads me to believe that they're probably with the Black Wolves. We might get an update as to what's going on with the Black Wolves in this chapter, probably towards the end, but I think this chapter specifically is just going to be a complete onslaught, and it's going to show every character that we thought had a chance completely be outclassed. I mean, of course, we all know that they were going to get defeated at this point, because when Lucius shows up, nobody's there, like Asa's not there, is looking pretty bad for them. I definitely see see the captains being completely destroyed. Whatever chance they had, if Asta was there, is gone. I know that Lucius said that Yuno has a chance, so there's a future that with him that could cause Lucius to lose this whole entire war, but I think Asta has to be a part of it as well. However, Lucius knows that there's that one possibility, and we've seen that Lucius is a person that's very sadistic and a true villain, so we know for a fact if Yuno gets into a fight with one of these paladins, it is most likely going to be Yuno's father. I'm telling you, we're probably going to see Yuno's father in the mix. Also, I did say that Lasita might be reborn. I think she is. I think Lucius is aware that Asta is alive, so we might see Lasita as a paladin in this chapter. If not, we'll get a hint of it, maybe a shallowette, maybe something that she will wear or something that she will say while that shallowette is there. So I'm guessing we might get a hint of Lasita being a paladin in this chapter. Also, Yuno definitely could turn into a paladin in this chapter. I think Yuno is going to get defeated. As he gets defeated, he will turn into a paladin, but like I said before, because he has two souls, I don't think Lucius is going to take control of the elf soul. Maybe he might take control of the elf soul and not Yuno's soul. We'll see where that happens. Maybe we might see that the elf soul takes control of Yuno's body because of Yuno's soul being completely influenced by Lucius. We'll see. I just know that because of the fact that Morris has these hands, it's most likely that Morris will start that touch that Lucius does that turns other people into paladins. We're gonna see Morris most likely go on a rampage with all those arms that he has. Watch, it's gonna be a complete crazy event. It's gonna make us think that there's no hope. Obviously Asta is the hope, but I don't see Asta coming in. I think it's too early for him to come in, but you never know. Tabata seems like he's kind of rushing things right now, so there's a possibility that we might see Asta come in the next couple of chapters, if not this chapter. I still think it's too soon because we haven't gotten an update with the Black Bulls in a while, so it'll be kind of weird if Asta just appears here out of nowhere. I think we're going to have a little bit of filler between Asta coming in here and this fight. So in my opinion, Lucius turns everybody in the Clover Kingdom into paladins. He might do it to the Heart Kingdom and possibly the Spade Kingdom. We don't know, but one of the kingdoms in that continent is going to be the one that doesn't actually turn people into paladins as of yet, and I think that's going to be the base for Asta and basically his resistance against Lucius. Or there's a possibility that the whole entire continent becomes paladins. That is very possible as well. This chapter itself will focus on the Clover Kingdom turning into subjects of Lucius. It would be crazy to see all the priests and the people of the Hodge village turn into paladins trying to destroy Asta. You could see Lucius going that route because Lucius, like I said before, is very sadistic, so he will use any means of advantage that he can. And what is the biggest advantage that he can use is emotional manipulation. So using people that are very close to Asta that he knows have a relationship with Asta, so the little orphans in the orphanage, also the priests, and of course it might not be Asta that faces them at first, it could be Yuno, and that could be what distracts Yuno and gets him turned into a paladin. So I could see that Yuno puts up somewhat of a fight, he dodges things here and there, but and then when he sees the people of the orphanage attacking him as paladins, that could cause Yuno to put his guard down for a second and then turn him into a paladin. We could see that this chapter, but I think the fights are going to carry on. I don't think it's going to be that quick. I think we're going to have multiple fights and they're going to be like at least a couple of chapters of each of them. I think this is a pure hopeless situation for them. We see them get rocked by Lucifero, and for what we know, devils, when they get purified, they're most likely stronger than just their devil form. So now not only they're fighting, devils of the Tree of Cliffoff and people that are possessed by them, but plus being purified to paladins, so that adds more power to them. It's going to be a nightmare. They don't stand a chance. I know a year and a half has passed, but I don't think a year and a half is enough for them to grow exponentially. We haven't heard of them actually training. The only people I see escaping this is probably Fagolion, also possibly Yuno. Yami, I see him turning into a paladin. I definitely see, the Black Bulls fighting Yami as a paladin, and Ichiga confronting Yami as a paladin would be amazing. Also, I do see Mariona possibly turning into a paladin, but knowing her, she has a strong will. I don't see her being controlled that much because Tabata likes that strong woman role. So I wouldn't be surprised if Mariona doesn't turn into a paladin, but if she does, kind of will put more emotional weight as to the situation that the captains and everybody's in. Also, I wouldn't be surprised if Fagolion turns into a paladin as well and actually makes Fagolion do the spirit dive, because Fagolion, for whatever reason, he hasn't done the spirit dive. If Lucius controls over him and turns into a paladin, it'll be a crazy thing that because of that, Lucius is able to unlock the spirit dive that Fagolion lacks. Also, Noelle. I wonder if we're going to see her this chapter. I don't know where she's at. Literally her siblings are fighting her mother. She should be around somewhere, but it would be interesting if Noelle ends up fighting all her siblings as paladins plus her mother. That'd be crazy, you know, and that's a good manipulation tactic that Lucius can do. I'm so excited about this chapter. I just hope that Tabata doesn't bring Asta into the story right now, because if Tabata brings Asta into the story, it kind of shows you that, yeah, he's kind of rushing the ending. Enjoy Black Clover while it lasts. I know we're gonna have some epic battles. So that's basically all I have to say. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think is gonna happen in Black Clover 355. Let me know what you think about this video. Do you think Fagolion is gonna turn into a paladin? Do you think Yuno's gonna turn into a paladin? How do you like Yami as a paladin facing off against the Black Bulls and possibly Ichigo? Because there has to be interaction between Ichigo and Yami. Do you think we're gonna get a name drop for the devil that's possessing Morris? Do you think we're gonna get a name drop for Lucy Focus's power? Like if you liked the video, comment, subscribe, and I'm out of here.